We are back on Alan Wake 2, and this time we're using the RTX 2070. To start it off, we're playing the game at 1080p at the max settings, with path tracing enabled, of course. Alright, here we are with that. There we go. This is the card that I've been looking forward to doing a video on, since the minimum requirements for this game is an RTX 2060, and the 2070 is very close to that. So I do want to see if the spec requirements are correct, which was 30 FPS at 1080p, low settings with DLSS. Okay, let's jump into it. Okay, here we go. 11 FPS inside. As expected, it's very laggy. Going outside, we fall down to 6 FPS, 5 FPS, and it is going crazy. For the VRAM, we're sitting at 7.7 gigs, almost 8 pretty much. And now it's fallen down quite quickly. It's a slideshow. It's not surprising, obviously, so let's pause the game, enable DLSS, and go again. Using Performance DLSS, we're now sitting at 14 FPS. That is a massive improvement to our performance. Not playable still, obviously, but it's a pretty big jump. Let's back out and disable RT and path tracing, come back into the max settings and see how we do. Back into the settings, let's go ahead and go down, and no RT here. Alright, disabling RT and path tracing, we're now sitting at 20 FPS, let's count the frames. It's a good sign though, because at the max settings we're sitting at 20 FPS, and on the spec sheet, at the low settings, it was running at 30 FPS with DLSS. So it's a good sign, it's a good sign. So I'm going to guess for the low settings, it's going to get around 40 to 50 FPS with DLSS, which is, I guess, playable. Alright, coming down here. The game is feeling kind of stuttery, to be honest here. Not a big fan of it. Not very playable in my opinion. But you do you if you like this, then might be useful for you. But hopefully with DLSS, we can get a stable 30 at the max settings. That would be quite nice, because the game looks fantastic, guys. This game looks gorgeous. Now using balanced DLSS, wow, okay, 40 FPS inside, that is quite nice. I gotta heal up again though, so annoying, dude, every time. And looking outside, we fall down into the low 30s and the high 20s. It's much better, we gain like 5 to 10 FPS pretty much in this mode. Coming down, we're sitting in the low 30s, up into the mid 30s. It's definitely playable, but it's not consistent. So it can hold 30, like here and there, but occasionally it can still fall down into the high 20s and even the mid 20s. So keep that in mind. Trying to aim feels much better. It's not great still, but it's definitely an improvement. The stuttering is kind of crazy in this section. Jump scares, of course. I ain't falling for it though. So hopefully at the medium settings, we can get a stable 30. Or I guess a smooth 30. That would be quite nice. And with a controller, it can be playable for some. Back into the settings, and this time playing at the high settings. Here we are with that. Again, no RT or path tracing, of course. Stable 30, please. Stable 30 isn't going to happen, is it? The high 20s already, guys. Yeah. Okay, outside we're sitting in the high 20s, but it does fall down into the low and mid 20s as well. So it's a bit worse than the max settings with DLSS. Where are you guys at? There you are. There you are. Are you calling me a thief? Oh, what's happening? Boom, baby. You're cooked. So this feels like the max settings with DLSS, pretty much. But of course, we're playing at the high settings and no DLSS. So technically, if we enable DLSS, we should get a stable 30 going. High settings with balanced DLSS. Wow. Almost the 60s. Indoors anyway. And going outside, it's the mid to high 30s. Almost the 40s, very close to it. And for stuttering, it's feeling quite good actually. Yeah, it's feeling quite nice. Inside, we're sitting in the low 60s and the low to mid 50s. Again, quite good. But let's keep playing though and see if it does fall down into the 20s. Oh, here comes the guy. God, it's so creepy, dude. Every time. I swear, every time. The game is really fun. I keep saying it, but the game is really fun. I just wish it ran better on PC. 25 FPS here. And the game is stuttering like crazy as well. So although it ran at 30 to 40 FPS for the most part, it can still fall down into the mid 20s. So keep that in mind. That is crazy. Medium settings, here we are with that. There we go. And let's get back into it. We are sitting in the low 30s. Let's count the FPS. And yeah, I think it's safe to say that for this game, you will need DLSS with all presets with this GPU. Let's pause the game here though, enable DLSS, and keep going from there. Alright, using balanced DLSS, we're in the 60s in the tree. Pretty good. And down into the low 50s and the low 40s even. That is crazy. Alright, here we go. We are almost there. god. Every time. Every freaking time. Yep, it does fall down into the high to mid 20s still. Wow. Okay, there it is, I guess. It's not a stable 30 at all times. It can still fall down into the 20s. That kind of sucks, man. That kind of sucks. I had high hopes for this. Alright, finally, at the low settings, I've gone ahead and turned everything off pretty much. Or set it low. And here we are with that. There we go. Wow, look at the graphics right now, though. That is pretty bad, to be honest. But FPS-wise, it is doing much better. Way better, actually. But the graphics all around are looking quite poor. It's very muddy. And very bland. But 60 FPS could be doable at this point, actually. We're now in the high 50s and the 60s with balanced DLSS. Let's keep playing, though. At this point, it shouldn't fall down into the 30s, or 20s, I should say, in that one scene. It does feel pretty good, though. The high 50s and the low 60s pretty much in this section. Feels fantastic to play like this. I like it. Alright, here we go. Ooh. Down into the 30s for a second, and now the low 40s. So yeah, that's Alan Wake 2 on the RTX 2070. I think ideally for this card, I would do a mix of low and medium, so the game looks nice, or decent, and the performance is decent as well. It can't hold a stable 60 obviously, but it can do 30 to 40 FPS stable. But yeah, it's really up to you. You choose what you like, and go with that instead. Okay, I think that's about it. Thank you guys for watching, hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll catch you guys next time for the next video. See you guys there.